Can Andy Ruiz become a pay-per-view box office star? Can he become the heavyweight Canelo? He's just had a sensational upset victory over Anthony Joshua. It has sent reverberations around the whole world of boxing. It's one of the biggest upsets in recent history. And that is going to get Andy Ruiz a hell of a lot of support in a relatively short space of time. When you add to that the fact that he's Mexican, and Mexicans have a history of supporting their own, I'm expecting Andy Ruiz, if he keeps hold of these belts, and let's say AJ doesn't take the rematch or Ruiz fights AJ in the rematch and beats him, I'm expecting his homecoming defense in the United States or in Mexico, I'm expecting it to be a complete sellout. I think that Andy Ruiz will get way more support than Deontay Wilder gets because of the demographic that both of these guys are from. Deontay Wilder, unfortunately for him, even though he's a very exciting fighter, he's been a champion for a long time, he knocks people out, he's loud, he's brash. I have always wished for Deontay Wilder to get better support than he actually has, but unfortunately for him, his particular demographic don't really support their own in the United States the way Mexicans do. So Wilder hasn't got the kind of attendance figures and the kind of pay-per-view figures and viewing figures that you would really want him to be getting. But with Andy Ruiz being Mexican, I'm expecting him to do far better at the box office and far better in terms of ticket sales than Wilder. And remember, he's only just become champion. But how big can he actually be? Can he be the heavyweight Canelo? Well, heavyweights in general, if you look at history, are generally more popular than the lighter weights. People like to see big men knocking lumps off each other. But there are certain things about Canelo which obviously put him ahead of Andy Ruiz in terms of box office appeal. One, Canelo's been around a lot longer. He's had a lot longer time to build his profile. He's fought and beaten a lot more A-level fighters than Andy Ruiz has. And also, this is something not to be underestimated, Canelo has a lot of female supporters. I mean, same with AJ, right? One of the reasons why AJ was so popular in the UK is because he also brought the female demographic in. Canelo does the same in Mexico and in the Latino community in the United States. He brings a lot of female fans in. Andy Ruiz, no disrespect to him, he's not going to bring the same amount of female fans in as a Canelo. However, he has a different kind of appeal to a Canelo because Andy Ruiz is really like an everyman. He's a guy who a lot of people can relate to because he doesn't look any different than the average person. He looks like someone who could be, you know, someone's brother, cousin, best friend, the guy who works down, you know, the supermarket, operating the forklift in the warehouse. That's what Andy Ruiz looks like, and that makes him very relatable to people. Even his personality, he comes across as this like big kid, always got a smile, always happy and polite. Is very relatable, and that could help him at the box office and make him even more popular, particularly among the Mexicans and Latino community. So he might not have the appeal of a Canelo in terms of bringing in the females, but he can bring in the average Joe who look at him and think, yeah, I like this guy. I can relate to this guy. And hopefully Andy Ruiz could be the guy to revive boxing in the United States like we haven't seen before. Because Deontay Wilder, they tried their best with him to get him to revive boxing in America in terms of the grassroots appeal, in terms of the general public getting on board with it. They tried with Wilder, but it just didn't work, unfortunately. They still can't get people to tune in large numbers to watch Wilder. And to me, that's very frustrating because Wilder's very exciting, you know? But with Andy Ruiz, because of the demographic, there's the opportunity there for them to actually revive boxing in the United States. I mean, in a way, it's kind of a shame that Andy Ruiz ain't a DAZN fighter and ain't a Golden Boy fighter at that. Because if he was a Golden Boy fighter in DAZN, they could just put him on the Canelo undercards, you know, or do a double header where it's like a co-main event feature with Andy Ruiz fighting and with Canelo fighting. I mean, that would be absolutely huge, you know? He's with Al Heyman, and still Al Heyman is a smart guy, and he's going to be looking at this whole Mexican Latino angle, and he's going to think, okay, I could be onto something here. I've tried with Wilder to make him this big star, but the American public are just not responding the way I want them to respond. But with Andy Ruiz, the Mexicans always support their own. I could have something here, you know, if I build him the right way. And even if he puts him in there with Wilder, it doesn't matter to Al Heyman who wins the fight, because if Andy Ruiz has sufficient support going into the Deontay Wilder unification, Deontay Wilder is going to inherit a lot of Andy Ruiz's fans, or he's going to inherit the publicity that Andy Ruiz generates if Wilder wins. Similar to how Mayweather, when he was fighting all these Latino fighters, Mayweather was getting all these Latino fans riled up, hating him and just tuning in, hoping to see him lose. Deontay Wilder could be in a similar position if he fights Andy Ruiz, where, yeah, maybe the majority of the crowd want him to lose, but at least people are turning up. At least the American public is involved. You know, and that will, and the more popular boxing becomes in the United States, the more popular boxing becomes in any country, the better it is for the sport going forward, because you inspire the next generation to get involved. So let's see if Andy Ruiz can go on to become a box office star. There's definitely potential there. Obviously, we have to wait and find out what's going to happen with the AJ rematch. If he does have to rematch AJ, it's going to be in the UK. And you'd have to imagine AJ is probably going to be more comfortable in the UK and what have you. So it's not a guarantee that Ruiz will get past AJ in the UK. Maybe he'll lose. I don't know. But if he does get past AJ, or if AJ elects not to take that rematch, we could be seeing the birth of the first proper heavyweight box office star we've seen in the United States for many, many years. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as I've said in previous videos, I can't help but feel happy for Andy Ruiz, because he is a blue-collar fighter who has come up through the ranks the hard way. He didn't have, you know, the red carpet rolled out for him like Deontay Wilder did, for example, where Wilder was just fed absolute cupcakes all the way and really groomed for stardom when he was with Golden Boy, and, you know, got a world title against Berman Stavern and was protected from fighting Klitschko. That's the route that Deontay Wilder took. Andy Ruiz didn't take that route. And I'm not bashing Wilder for the route he took, but all I'm saying is, this is why you have to give Andy Ruiz extra credit, because he really hasn't had it the easy way. He went in there against AJ. Yeah, the fight was in the United States, but that was a Matchroom show, people. That fight might as well have been in the UK. Most of the crowd was British. The security was British. The promoter was British. You know, like, you saw so many British people that it was just like being at the O2 or something for a Matchroom show. Andy Ruiz was the one going in to the Lion's Den against a very good champion, a tough champion, a champion who was young, who was in shape, who was, you know, unified, who had been fighting top opposition. And against all the odds, Andy Ruiz pulled it out. So you got to give him massive credit for that. Massive credit. And if anyone has earned the right, you talk about earned, Andy Ruiz has earned the right to become a box office star, doing it the way he's done it. Yeah? So big up Ruiz, man. Big up Ruiz. And this ain't nothing against Anthony Joshua. See, some of the Joshua fans getting on my case. How could you say this? Joshua's done this. Listen, Joshua's been a fantastic fighter. And he will go on to be an all-time great for all I know. But AJ's made his millions. AJ could retire today and be set for life, and his children and children's children will be set for life. Andy Ruiz ain't there yet. He's trying to get there. You know what I mean? Can't we have some sympathy for the little guy who just slayed Goliath? Like, can we not give him some credit? Can we not care about his life? AJ's life is good. You know? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.